So now let's go into all the positions of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I shouldn't say it, let me recorrect that. Let me go into the most basic foundational positions of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, where we kind of score the game and where we kind of branch off from, because everything is a derivative of these positions, and if you're good at the fundamentals, you'll understand as you go into your other dojos or your other academies and schools why these other positions you might see are derivative from these positions. So that way at least you're speaking the language and you can kind of understand where we're coming from when we start to coach more advanced stuff. So go ahead and pull guard. So scoot forward just a little bit for me. So John's right now in the open guard, right? So this is dangerous for me, right? So if John can up kick or whatever, or let's get out of the self-defense, let's kind of keep it to the sport jiu-jitsu. John has the ability to sweep me, meaning he can, we'll get into that later a little bit, but he can kind of throw me from my feet to my back. He can knock me down. He can start submitting me to like triangles, arm bars, right? So he has the ability to use his legs against me in an offensive manner. So what I want to do eventually is I want to get past his legs, the dangerous legs, and I want to get into a side control. Okay? So this is very good for me. One, in the self-defense situation, because I'm past the dangerous legs, and like we saw that girl in that video, or didn't see, I told you about, the girl in that video, she was dangerous off of her back to an attacking opponent, and she didn't even know jiu-jitsu. So it's important to get past the legs even to somebody who doesn't know what they're doing, because they can be dangerous. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, that person's even more dangerous, right? Because they know how to use their legs effectively. So if I get past his legs and I get into a good side control here, then I have done what is called a guard pass. And a guard pass in most tournaments and stuff, that we can get in the point system later, but you get 3 points from there. But it's also good in a self-defense position. So no matter what you're doing, sport jiu-jitsu, or you're doing this for self-defense, this is a good place to be. One, his legs are no longer in the picture, and I have the ability to completely crush him. I have the ability to strike onto him, right? You see this in like the UFC and stuff. A lot of people like getting the side control and start throwing blows. And he doesn't have a really good base to start striking me back or to be dangerous to me, right? So side control is a very good position. Let me go ahead and cover the dynamics a little bit of side control. One, the side control that I like is one arm is under his head, and I'm doing something called a cross face, where I'm using my shoulder to move across his face. This is a little bit different from the wrestling cross face, so don't get those confused. Crossing his face, I'm moving his head out of alignment with the spine, right? His neck is now out of alignment with the spine, and I'm making him kind of look at the camera here. I like to gable grip my hands right here, just like that, okay? One of my knees is in the side to prevent him from re-guarding, and my other knee is kind of like by his shoulder. My base is low, my weight's on his chest right here. This is a good side control, all right?